What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, AthleteNext.com. Today I'm going to put together for you what I would call the perfect bicep workout, continuing the series. And we're going to put heavy science into what we do as we always do. And as a matter of fact, we're going to break out, as always, the muscle markers to show you why this becomes the perfect bicep workout. And in order to be called that, I feel there's 6 requirements that we have to make sure we nail to be sure that we're covering all aspects of bicep training. So let's get through those one by one. We're actually going to use these muscle markers to help us do that. So right off the bat, we do understand that the biceps is a two-headed muscle. So it means we have a shorter head here and a long head, which is the inner bicep and the outer bicep. Well, there's more to it than that. First of all, the muscle markers help us to actually determine where that is. You can actually see on my bicep here, right about here, how the bicep turns the corner and then it actually comes up here. And if you follow that line, you can actually start to see a little bit of that split. So if I were going to draw it out, I would follow this line here. Okay? So what we have to do is we have to understand that there are ways to actually hit the short head of the biceps a little bit more preferentially, and that is because the attachment is different than the long head. The long head actually has an attachment in the shoulder, which enables us to do some different things to influence it over the short head. Not isolate, but influence. And again, I would trace that out by going down right along here and around and up right here. And again, this has its attachment up in the shoulder. And in general, we've said that if we want to train the long head of the bicep, we could do 2 things. Number one, we could actually take it into more of stretch by bringing our arm back behind our body in exercises like a drag curl like you see here. Or we could use rotation, a different function of the shoulder, to allow us to work either the short or the long head more. And that is because when we have the outer portion of our bicep more visible to you in the mirror, then you would be working more of the long head of the bicep. Whereas if we were doing exercises like here, the no money curl, where you could see more of the inside of my biceps here, then we would be favoring the short head. So we're going to do that. But we also have to now talk about the functions of the bicep, because in order to have a complete and perfect bicep workout, we have to acknowledge the different functions of the bicep. So we know that it's an elbow flexor, right? That's obvious. But we also should know that it's a supinator. And the reason why it supinates the forearm here is because of its connection. All you have to do is just take your finger and run it right off of the bottom of your bicep. And you should feel a big, thick tendon right in here. Okay? If you follow that tendon all the way, you can actually grab it and follow it all the way around. It inserts all the way down here into the radius. So if I were to put a mark right there, we'll call that number 1. The first thing is to supinate that forearm. The second thing is, as we talked about, was to bend the elbow or flex the elbow. So we could put a number 2 right here. Right? And then number 3, we know is to actually get a full contraction in the bicep, we know that because it crosses the shoulder, it can actually flex the shoulder. So we would put a 3 up here. Well, we know if we want to actually get the most out of the biceps, we're going to want to have certain exercises that are going to do all